Hi guys, welcome back. In the last video, we discussed how to formulate a speech intro. So we talked about how a good introduction has an attention getter. It has a central idea where we preview the 2 or 3 main points we're going to cover in our speech about our topic. We talked about credentials, that's our credibility. We're giving our audience a reason to believe what's coming next. And we talked about why a relate to audience statement is desirable so that our audience connects with us and wants to listen. Now, the next piece of the template, if we look right here, is the connective. And a connective is a transitional statement that is going to take you from this introduction to the meat of your speech, which is the body. So a connective is going to sound something like this. If my speech were on why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, I might say, after my introduction, I might say, now that you all have an idea of what I'm going to be discussing today, I'm going to give you my first reason as to why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. That will take us nicely and take the listener nicely to your first main point. And then I'm going to deliver that first main point. It might be something like, I love Thanksgiving for the food. Now notice that first main point here is actually really broad. You don't ever want really specific main points. Why is that? Your specifics come with your subpoints, these A's, B's, C's, D's, however much you need to support what you're saying in that first main point. So when I say I love Thanksgiving for the food, then my A's, B's, C's, D's are going to support that. These are my details. These are what personalize my speech. These are my examples. So I might mention my love for green bean casserole at Thanksgiving. I might mention that my aunt always burns the pecan pie. I might mention the smells. Again, these personalize my main point. And my main point was that I love the food. Now, what I want you to know here is each main point has to at least have 2 subpoints. So you must have at least an A and a B to support your main point. Beyond that, you can have as many as you need to fit your time frame and to support that point. So, as I scroll down, when I finish talking about food, and that's what this main point was about, I'm then going to want another connective. I'm going to want to transition my listener from that main point to my next point, which may be, and the connective would sound something like, now that you know that I love the food, let me next talk about a second reason I love Thanksgiving. Then we're going to get into our second main point. And my second main point might be something like, I love Thanksgiving because of my family and the people involved. Again, notice how that is a broad statement because my support comes in with these details, these subpoints. I might talk about my crazy aunt again. I may talk about how my uncle, whoever, always falls asleep in his chair. I might talk about how half of the family leaves the table as soon as possible to go watch football. But again, I'm talking about my family and I'm supporting this second main point. When that is done, when I've given these great details to personalize my ideas, I could either have a third main point, but I told you for the self-intro, you're probably only going to use about 2 main points here because this is a brief speech. So let's go past the third main point and let's actually conclude. Your concluding connective neatly takes the listener to your conclusion. We always want to let our audience know that the conclusion is coming. People like endings. I see this in my classroom all the time when I tell my students, hey y'all, this is the last thing I'm going to say today. I see the joy and rejuvenation come back into their faces. They are happy. So let's get our audience excited about our conclusion. We're going to do that with a concluding connective. Let the audience know you're concluding. So we might say something like, okay, now that you know a little bit about how I feel about Thanksgiving, let's conclude. I'm going to let my audience know that I'm going to the conclusion, and then I'm going to state, in conclusion. Now, when we look at our conclusion, and let me scroll down here. When we look at our conclusion, it's quite simple. This is only a small part of my entire presentation. The body of the speech is always going to be the longest. So I'm going to restate my central idea. In conclusion, today I have talked about Thanksgiving being my favorite holiday by letting you know a little bit about how I feel about the food and the people involved in my Thanksgiving. Then I'm going to want to challenge my audience. I might say something like, I challenge you to make your favorite holiday the best one yet this year. And then if you look here, we're going to end memorably. This is important because this is the last thing our audience is going to hear. So make it good. I like to end creatively, and we can do so by using a quote. We can use a statistic. Here I want to show you one way I like ending when I give presentations in the classroom, but we can do this online as well. I love using a meme to end with, and I like using memes throughout a presentation as an attention getter as well. But I might end by just showing you a fun meme. Something like this. This is me thinking about Thanksgiving. And of course you see the image there. Or another cute one is this turkey hanging out in the sink, and it says, I am no cook, but I can follow the directions. Which said, let the bird chill in the sink for a few hours. So with a lighthearted speech, a fun lighthearted meme is always relevant and always fun. I will be back with you guys soon, but in a nutshell, I have shown you guys how to use your template to organize your thoughts. Remember, you don't have to write anything down. Just use this as your guideline. Don't worry about the works cited right now either. We will get to all of that later. Take care.